Here we go! Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special DLC episode of Games Over Plastic. Joining me for the second time ever is my good friend, James Soler. James, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I can't believe I'm joined again by the historian of LSM things himself, James. James is quite the historian over there, keeping track of all things for LSM. I love it. It's always good when you get a write-in read too. You were on the latest sacred symbols, yeah, on the episode. Yeah,
Yes, I
you
think
wrote into that
I
one.
think all I asked about was when the Sacred League is coming back, and then Colin
Yes, you
didn't really.
did.
He was like, "Oh, it is coming back," and then didn't really answer the question. But
Yeah.
um,
I'm excited. I'm excited. Anytime I hear your name, though, it's great. Like, oh,
yeah,
James is doing something good.
I mean, I'm in the same boat. I think it's fun to hear my own name, but I also think it's fun to hear names of people that I recognize from the LSM Discord. Yourself, I think Astroparrot Kane gets read a lot.
Yeah.
Straw Hat Ninja is in there a bunch. But it's always exciting to hear like a familiar name and just kind of be like, oh,
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah. Shout out to Astro Parrot. We were at the Mets game with Lord Cog from LSM and the Iron Lords, and his good friend Lord Sov, who's also on the Iron Lords. And shout out to our friend Greek Thunder, who's also in the LSM Discord. He joined us, and it was a great time. Mets
Nice.
won. It was a fun time. We do it every year, so it was always a good time. But with that said, James is joining me for the second time. The first time we did a nice Zelda tier ranking because on Games Over Plastic here, I'm the biggest Nintendo nerd here, as many of the listeners know from our Nintendo console rankings, where one of the big gift that's going around LSM that people are using in the LSM Discord and all the other Discords I'm in is me hitting my table and walking out of the room. I keep seeing that people are using that now. That was created from that episode because the N64 was ranked number 3, and I was not happy with that, and I walked out of the room.
You
I'm a
wanted it to be
notorious.
higher or lower?
No, I want it to be way lower. I'm a notorious
Okay.
N64 hit. Yeah, I'm a notorious N64 hater. I think it has very high highs but very low lows.
I
Um,
think so too.
yeah. But James joined me for the Zelda tiering. So today I figured, why not we do a Mario platforming tiering? So we're going to be tiering the mainline Mario platforming game. So unlike the Zelda tiering where it was kind of disorganized, it was the first time we were doing it,
Hmm.
where we kind of just did every single Zelda game under the sun, including the CDI, horrific
I
CDI.
think we even talked about like Link's crossbow training
We did.
briefly. At least I did. I,
We did. We did. I remember. The Wii Zapper. um, I figured why not James on again? We're gonna do the mainline platforming Mario game. So you're not gonna see Mario's missing. You're not gonna see Mario's Time Machine. As much as we love those games so much, they're horrific. But I figured why not have James on again for this? And I would really love for James to be a recurring guest for like just Nintendo tier ranking because no one else, it's hard for me to talk about this with some of the other guests we've had. I'm the kind of the Nintendo guy, so it'd be great to have you on again for
yeah, definitely. I'm.
a Kid Icarus ranking.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I know I've never played. I played the original
I
Kid
haven't
Icarus.
either. Which I feel like there's a part of me that kind of feels like we are running out of common ground of stuff that we're interested in because after we get through Mario and Zelda, which there's other Mario spin-off stuff that we can do, um, the next biggest one for me, I think, would probably be Metroid. But I don't know that Are you a big Metroid
I've
fan?
only played Metroid Prime.
Okay, see, and
Yeah.
then
I got to get through them all before
and
4.
then I don't know. I'm not personally like a big Kirby fan. Um,
Hodge is a big Kirby guy.
Yeah. But I think we did talk briefly about trying to do something with like Super Smash Bros. And try to
Oh
figure out how to
yeah,
do something in there,
dude,
whether it would be
that's
just focusing on like one individual game at a time or something. But
we'll
we
figure
can
it out.
yeah, we can figure that
Yeah,
stuff out
we'll
later.
figure it out off here. We don't bore the listener here. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get right at it. So we will be creating the tier list. You will be actually able to see the entire tier list at the end of the episode. That will be in there with the appropriate columns. We have 25 games we're gonna go through here. We're gonna go in chronological order of release. The tiers are the S tier, the A tier, the B tier, the C tier, the D tier, and unfortunately the F tier. In the future, maybe I'll get creative and rename them. Maybe we'll name them something off the theme of whatever we're doing. But we're gonna get started right away with the seminal the original Super Mario Bros. That released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985. That is Super Mario Bros. So, James, start us off right here. Where would you rank Super Mario Bros?
Ooh, I think this game is very good. I think I do think it deserves a little bit of credit as far as being a really, especially on consoles, being a pioneer of the platformer genre. But I also don't really like putting. I don't like justifying a game being high up on a list because it was the original one and nothing after it would exist, because then nothing could ever be better than the game that came before it. Um, I I'm thinking, so obviously this game is pretty revolutionary for its time, especially what they were able to do on the NES with the music and the enemies and the little hiccups that you would have and not being able to like walk backwards and stuff that they kind of had to figure out and how to get it to work on the NES. I'm thinking probably this feels so bad to say. Probably B.
So exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
thinking high,
Woo.
like a high B tier,
Okay, yeah.
high
That's
B.
that's
That
what I was thinking too. I was thinking
yeah,
B or somewhere in A.
yeah. I'm
But
thinking
A might be a
high B
little bit.
range. Yeah, I think mainly if we didn't have the other Mario games, I think this would be an S tier game. But they just outdid themselves later on.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that our A tier, from when I didn't go and like put them actually in, um I was more prepared probably for the Zelda one when we did this.
Don't
That one
worry
I
about it.
actually had it listed out in tier lists, but this, it's like, yeah, I kind of know how I feel generally about all these
Yeah,
games. So I'm thinking that we're going to have a lot of games that we want to fit in the A tier. And so I was kind of thinking that if it started in A, it would probably get bumped to B anyway.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Like I said, later on we can go back and make adjustments too if needed. But yeah, I totally agree with you. A tier, the high B tier, low A tier. So right now we'll
Yeah.
put it in the high B tier.
And
I do like it, but of when I'm going back to play like an older Mario game, it's never like I'm never like, oh, I'm gonna go
right.
play the first one.
I'm not interested in replaying Mario 1.
No, and there are
I
better
say
ways
that
to play it.
I did probably replay it 3 or 4 months ago. But that was
I mean, I
because I had this moment where it's like, I don't know if I ever actually beat this game as a kid. Which, so did you grow up playing Mario on NES?
Well, so like I was born in '96, but we had the
Okay.
NES, and I remember playing it a lot. I can beat this game in like 20 minutes. It's
Okay.
not that hard. But the last time I did like the full one through like no warp run,
Yeah.
I did it on my flight to Hawaii. I did the no warp run from Mario Bros. 1, 2, 1, Lost Levels 2 and 3, and World. I did that. I beat all of them without dying, and it took me like a couple hours
Okay. Yeah, so
to do all of them.
I was born in 94, so I was not
Yeah,
around for the NES in its heyday. Um but my dad was into video games, and so he had the original trilogy on NES, and then he never had a Super Nintendo. So from really when I was a kid all the way up until the Nintendo 64 came out, all I would play was NES.
yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, you can't go wrong.
of course.
Great console. Yeah. But let's move on
All right.
to the next version, which it didn't come out in the US till we got the Super Nintendo port, but we're going to rank it like it came out next, and that is Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. This is the real Super Mario Bros. 2. Us Americans couldn't handle the challenge that this was.
Mhm.
Now, here's a very controversial take. I am a Lost Levels defender. I think this game freaking rules. It's one of my favorite 2D Mario games. In
Okay.
fact, if this was my personal ranking, this would be an S tier game. But I
Really?
understand, yes, I understand we have to take into account all you babies out there who can't handle the difficulty and the challenge of Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. So I am going to nominate it for A tier. But I'm open to hearing what you have to say.
Well, I've actually never played this game.
Okay.
However, I'm interested. Can I ask you some questions to
Yes.
kind of factor in my
Yes.
vote? How what makes this, so you said that it came to the Super Nintendo?
So the first time we got it in the U.S. was on the Super Mario All Stars pack, and
Oh, okay. Okay.
that's when they called it the Lost Levels, and we're like, what is this? And then a couple years later, the internet people were like, oh, this game was out
Okay.
in 1986 in
Gotcha.
Japan. Yeah,
So then I guess that would being as part of that kind of like a remaster in Super Mario All Stars does kind of push it up. I'm okay. I'm okay with that then because
yeah,
I've seen clips of like the original Lost Levels that was I think released in Japan for the
yeah,
like NES or the Famicom,
yeah. The
and
Famicom. Yeah,
it looks exactly like Super Mario One.
yeah. It's the same art style.
Mhm.
Like if you looked at it, there are a little subtle changes. Like the pixels are a little bit more fine tuned.
Mhm.
The levels are just. I think the level design is much more. I think the level design is much more crafted. There's more unique levels. Like how in Mario One it kind of follows the format. Like level two, like we're gonna get the underground world. Level
Right.
three is gonna be like in the sky. This is like so different. Like
Okay.
each individual world, like you don't know what's if you've never played it, you don't know what's coming next.
So is there a part of it that can kind of feel like this is just everything that they weren't able to fit into the first game? And like they were like whatever ideas they had, they were just kind of
I
like,
think
oh,
so.
let's do
Yeah,
this later. This is a great idea. Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm
But a
fine
lot of
sticking it in A
people,
tier.
yeah, a lot of people hate it for the difficulty. It is a much more. It might be the most challenging Mario 2D Mario game.
That's
Just
what I've
because
heard.
there are wrong way warps. So like if you go to a warp zone, you can get warped to a former world you've already completed. Some of the castles are really tough. There's some really tough jumps too. Like the wind, like in later Mario games, that's like pushes against you.
Hmm.
Like this is where it came from.
Okay,
Yeah, so people kind of just get frustrated with that. But
yeah,
this is the first game with like poison mushrooms.
okay.
Yeah.
I've heard, yeah, I've heard that some people would say that it's just so hard that it makes it to where it's like not even fun. But I
I
guess
love it.
if you play it enough to kind of to get good at it, then
Yeah.
maybe it would be fun.
Yeah.
So I'm
This is the
good.
Dark
I'm
Souls. This is the Dark Souls of Mario.
the Dark Souls platformer.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go A tier for now and we'll see. We'll go from
All
there.
right.
All right, so next up we have the American Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah.
This one, James, what do you think about this one?
I actually I'm gonna let you go first on this one. I want to hear what you have to say first.
Okay. I'm mixed with this one. So I'm not the biggest fan of this. I think it's very unique. It's very different than any of the other Mario platforming
Hmm.
games. And the fact that like you're going up, I love how it introduced the four characters. It made Luigi unique. He can jump higher. It also let you play as Peach, who can float, Toad, who's really fast, but he can't
Yeah.
jump as high, and Mario's kind of like your balance character.
Hmm.
It also gave us Birdo. Some really weird bosses, like Bowser's not in this game. We have Wart.
Yep.
Um, Very strange character. I can't not believe he's not in Smash Bros. Um, but like you pick up turnips to throw on enemies, like you can't stomp on enemies. I think it's a really cool concept, but I don't think, as far as like a Mario game, I don't think it's that good.
Okay.
So I would say this game would be like a C tier.
Okay. I think that's solid. Um, as a kid, I really liked this game for how different and weird it was. But I actually replayed Super Mario 1, 2, and 3 earlier this year. And when I
Mhm.
got to this game, I was just like, why are you so different and weird? Like
So weird, like throwing the like potions down to go in these like secret
these
doors.
secret doors that and some of the doors seem to like not really go anywhere. And if you
Yeah.
put the potion in the wrong place, you might not be able to get anything from it. So I think there are a lot of really cool ideas in it, but it's the kind of thing that I like this, but it's not really what I wanted from a Mario game. I want Mario to be Mario,
Yeah.
and
I
I don't.
wonder, like, so obviously, it's really Doki Doki
Right.
Universe. Yeah, like if that came out in America and it was called that and it didn't have Mario on it, I wonder if people would even like remember this game fondly. But
I
I
pro-
don't think so.
I don't think so.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
would say C tier. Again, it does some
I'm good
great.
sticking at C,
Yeah,
especially since I think the C and D and F are probably going to be pretty light for us. So
Yeah.
anything that we have a reason to throw down there, the better.
Yeah. Get down there. We hate you. Um, all right. So, next up, we're gonna run to the Japanese release of Super Mario Bros. 3. It came out in 1988. Obviously, it came here in 1990.
Right?
I think this is pretty easy. I'm just gonna say, ready on three. We're gonna go one, two, three. S tier.
S tier. All right.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. This is an amazing game, like
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable. To think this game ran on the NES and the like
Impressive.
compared to the original Mario Bros, it's insane. Like you had the overworld, which is like the template for all like 2D overworlds now.
Right?
You still see it today. The variety and level, like the just like the different each world has a different theme. Do you have a specific world that you like in this game? Like what's your favorite one?
I loved the I don't remember if it's the entire world or part of a specific level. The one where everything is huge, which I think is
Oh, I
part of like
love
world.
that. I love that.
I
It's
think
like
that's a
World
section of
4.
like World 4.
Yeah.
I really like that one. I also really just like the art style and the weird stuff. How it seems like this entire game is part of like a stage production or anything. That in the beginning
Yeah.
of the credits or in at the opening credits, it starts with like the curtain rising. Um, and then all of the platforms seem to be like nailed onto a background, and then at the end of each level, you literally like go off stage. I just think
Mhm.
it's like this is like the weird stuff that I want from Mario, not necessarily Doki Doki Panic.
Yeah. And yeah, you nailed it. And it introduced like different enemies. It introduced the sun coming after you. There's just a lot of variety. It has the toad houses.
Hmm.
It also introduced like separate like mini bosses, almost like mini castles, mini
Yeah.
bosses,
And
optional levels.
was this the debut of the Koopa Kids,
The
or was that
Koopalings.
later? The Koopalings, the Bowser's kids.
Yes, this was.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. It was. So I don't know. It was really cool. It wasn't like, oh, Bowser's at the end of, Bowser's the villain, the enemy every time. And like, imagine being in Japan and only getting Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2, like that were very similar in art style, and then
Right.
getting this.
Yeah, that would be
You're like, whoa.
such a huge jump. And which I think we already touched on it a little bit. I do just think it's so impressive that they were able to get this game running on the NES, because
Yep.
if you compare this to like Mario 1, where he has like his whole body is like 5 pixels, that it just you could tell how much they really figured out that hardware and really had like mastery over what they were doing. And I do think that the music in this game is so good.
So good. And they give you an item storage in this. Like, you can store your
Hmm.
items in this. Like, it's so impressive. And it gave us the warp whistle. It gave us some cool
Yeah,
power ups like the frog suit Mario.
bunch of new items and stuff too.
Loves the frog suit Mario.
And I think this
Tanuki.
was the Tanuki. This was the
Yep.
first one with Tanuki, right?
Yep. First one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, such a overall great. I'm glad we agreed on that one.
Yeah.
Very much so. All right, that is actually my dad's one of his favorite games of all time. All right. So next up we have Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. Now, oh boy, I'll start off with this one.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of this game at all. I think it is incredibly boring. I hate the art style. I think it's atrocious to look at, like awful. It reminds me of like if Nintendo were like, hey, to this company, went to another company and said, hey, I'm gonna license Mario to you. You guys just make this. Here you go. I don't like it. It's really short. It's only 4 worlds. The
Hmm.
power ups are all different. It is kind of cool. The power ups are all different, but I'm not. I just don't feel it. I think this is a D tier game.
Yeah.
That's just
This
me.
one was uh this one was on Game Boy.
Yep, Game
Like
Boy.
OG Game Boy.
OG Game
I
Boy. Yep.
didn't play this game, but earlier today, as I was kind of looking around and stuff, I did watch some clips of the first couple levels. The first thing I noticed was that this whole game apparently can be played in like 30 or 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
extremely short. There's only 4 worlds, and the levels are very short.
yeah. Well, it's like you can actually play every single level in like 30 or 40 minutes. Not like with like Mario 1 where we're like, "Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
beat that game in 5 minutes if you warp here, warp there, and then you're done." And I don't really get how so this game, let's see, it came out in 1989, so a few years after Mario 1. I don't get how it looks so much worse because the NES. My understanding. I'm not a technical guy, but my understanding is that the NES and the Game Boy were very similar hardware, which sometimes worked out really well with stuff like Link's Awakening, but then sometimes didn't work out well in like this game.
Yeah. It is. It's just very odd. This does introduce us to Daisy. Daisy is in this game. She's like the princess you're trying to save. It's
Okay,
kind of cool because you're not in the Mushroom Kingdom.
yeah,
But it's just it's odd, and I think it was their first attempt at like the handheld Mario. Maybe they were thinking, "Oh, it's handheld. We want to make it shorter."
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm gonna go with D
Can
tier on
you?
this one.
Let's see. This was a Game Boy game. Was there any kind of way to like save your progress or anything?
No, you could not save it. There was like a
So
password system.
maybe they made okay. Well, I forget that the password systems were a
Yeah,
thing because I was
yeah.
thinking maybe they tried to make it shorter because you would have to play like I don't know. The Game Boy used what like 6 AA batteries or something crazy like that, or maybe like
The
4
original
AA
one. Yeah,
batteries.
the
Like
original
maybe
one.
they
Yeah.
wanted people to be able to play the whole thing on like one set of batteries or something. Like because like I don't know.
I also think maybe this came out in such the early life of the Game Boy. They're like, we need a Mario game. It's like near the beginning of this
It's just
console.
like throw something out there. Throw whatever you
Yeah,
can.
but yeah, I would go with D tier.
I'm good with that. It looked pretty bad. I'm glad I
It's
didn't play. This was when you were
yeah.
asking me if I wanted to uh catch up on a couple of it because I think I told you that there are some games that I hadn't played.
Hmm.
Um and you told me that if we wanted to delay so I could play a couple of them. I saw this video. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm
Yeah, no, no. All right, we'll move on. So next up, we have our first Super Nintendo game, and that is Super Mario World. This is my second favorite overall Mario game and my
okay.
favorite 2D Mario game. James, please tell me you have this in the correct tier. Where would you put this?
This is when you're gonna get a little disappointed in me. I have only played a little bit of this game. However, I'm confident that it belongs in the S tier
Oh, definitely. It is
because
definitely an S tier
everybody
game.
says that this game is incredible. I think the art style is amazing. I think that there's probably one 2D game later on that in from everything that I've seen, I think this is peak Mario, at least in 2D. And then
Yes.
there's maybe one game later on that I think you could argue gets close to being up there, but th- I think that this belongs on in the S tier.
Yeah. I have it I slotted it ahead of Super Mario Bros. 3 in the S tier. For me.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I think it takes everything that Mario Bros. 3 does, and I think it does it better. It introduces, which is like, that's amazing to say. It also introduces some cool power ups. My favorite power up of all time, the cape. I love that cape. You can run straight up walls, and you can do like the floating motion.
Mhm.
I think the overall like the world map is super cool. Like I remember, like I had a poster of this world map that my
Yeah.
dad got at the original launch of the game that he gave to me. And I remember just staring at it and being like, I want to go here because
And
you're in like this dinosaur land. It also introduced, well, not introduced, but it gave my favorite Mario character of all time much more personality, and that is Yoshi.
yeah, even if Mario's punching him in the back of the head the whole game,
Yep, or throwing him off a cliff to
make a jump.
reach higher heights.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It also introduced some really cool enemies, like the football player. It just was so unique, and it it was a great game for early in the life of the
Yeah.
SNES.
Wait, the
It
football
inter-
players. Oh, Charge and
Chuck,
Chuck.
Charge and Chuck, their football. Yeah, they have the football
Yeah,
helmets
yeah,
on.
yeah. They
Yeah.
do.
Such cool, unique designs. It introduced the boo houses as well as levels.
Mhm.
Um,
Which personally, as somebody that likes to 100% my Mario games and find all of
ooh,
the big coins and the secret endings and stuff, The boo
Those boo
houses
houses
always
can be a little tough.
they're tough.
Obtuse,
But
yeah.
one thing that I don't think that we've mentioned yet about this game is that I think that they really nailed down, because I'm not completely in the dark at this game. I've watched like a buddy of mine did a let's play a couple years ago where he played through the entire game, so I have seen the entire game, and then I have played probably like a couple hours of it, but not as obviously not as much as yourself, and not really a whole lot to definitively say that it belongs anywhere specifically on the list. But I think that they really nailed down how physics in Mario should work, and how high you should go when you bounce off certain enemies, and how fast you can run, how high you can jump normally, and making sure the floor is not too slippery, which for some reason
The NES games, you slipped a lot. Yeah.
I was actually thinking the later games. I was thinking like
Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll talk about that when we get there.
some of them, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about those later. But
Yeah.
because the going from each of the games on the NES, they had very different like physics that how high you could jump wasn't really consistent, and it seemed like this game was overall just better designed, that the different levels were specifically designed with how high you can jump, where your enemies are going to be, and actually like what you're able to do.
Yeah.
It feels much
Totally.
more intentional.
Yeah. And the art is just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like, I love the 16-bit art, so this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we agree. S
course.
tier. Right now, it's currently the highest S tier.
Okay.
All right. So next up, we are going to go with. All right, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins for the
Yeah.
Game Boy. I never played the original Game Boy one. I played the re-release for the Game Boy Color, which added color to it.
Okay.
Have you played this one?
Okay,
so this is definitely an improvement on Super Mario Land 1.
Okay. So like
it's a little bit longer.
So like
They
C
add
tier?
yeah, I would say C tier. C tier.
Like
they add a little bit more but like below Super Mario Bros. 2, definitely.
Okay.
They add some, like, it's really cool. They have like the bounce ball mechanic, which you see later in Mario Maker too. They introduce like vehicles as like vehicle levels, like you can like ride in a plane and stuff, which is kind of cool.
That's odd.
It also introduces Wario to this game. Like, Wario's in this game. Like, you're going after him.
And then there were like 100 Wario spin-off games.
Yes, this is where Wario Land came from. Like, Wario Land came from this, because their first Wario Land game is actually called Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land, which is funny. Even though you play as Wario in the game, and it's like not a Mario game at all. The level designs are pretty cool, but it is very similar in like design, like level wise, to the original Super Mario Land. It does look better. It does give us, the wing cap from Mario 64.
Yes,
that came from this game.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but it's more iconic with Mario 64, obviously.
Right.
But definitely,
I feel like Mario 64 is just generally a more iconic game. I feel like Mario 64 is more iconic.
You don't think Super Mario Land 2 is like the most iconic game ever? 6 golden coins. No, but yeah, I think we can move on right there.
Okay.
I mean, just C tier.
And
all right, next up.
I was going to ask earlier. You had mentioned briefly Super Mario All Stars.
Yeah.
Is that different enough to include it as its own separate thing?
I wouldn't, just because it's just like a remake of the game. We didn't really include the remake.
What I was thinking too. Because it's all just visual upgrades, right?
Visual upgrades, and when you play them, it feels like Mario World.
Okay.
So it does feel better.
Okay.
But gotcha. I figured we just go with the original.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna play the games, you play the All-Star versions. That's my opinion. I like the All-Star versions.
I didn't do that. Maybe I should.
I mean, I play the originals as well, but the All-Star version is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I played them when I played them this past year. I played them on Nintendo Switch Online just because they're all
great service,
all over there.
Phenomenal service. All right, so next up we have almost like a swan song to the SNES, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Now, we are including this because you know why? Because I like this game. That's why we're including it. All right, I decide. No, James likes this game too.
So, I have not. This is the last game that I'm going to say this for. I have not played this game.
Okay.
I've never owned a Super Nintendo, and so, as I said earlier, I went straight from the NES to Nintendo 64. So everything in that stretch right there is kind of in the dark for me. I also never my first Game Boy was a Game Boy Advance, which is why I didn't really get any of the early Game Boy games either. Um,
Mhm.
but I this game always looks a little bit strange to me. I know that you play as Baby Mario,
You play
who
as Yoshi. You play as Yoshi with Baby Mario on your back.
oh,
Um,
I didn't
yes,
know
you
that.
play
I
as
was under the impression that you were Baby Mario,
no,
and
no.
then
You are
Yoshi
you.
was kind of in and out of the game, like
No,
you could like ride him and
no,
stuff. Okay, so
no.
Yoshi is with you actually for the entire game.
The entire game, just like all. This is the first Yoshi game, but like because
Okay,
it's called Super Mario World, we're gonna stick with that. Just like Yoshi's New Island and all those games, you play as
right.
Yoshi. Um,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
So
but
actually, it would have. So okay, so if you had argued to not include this game, I knowing that you actually do play as Yoshi the entire
the
time,
entire
because
game, yeah.
okay. So what?
So
I guess
the
what do you think about this game?
I really like it. This is the first game that I ever beat on my own,
Okay,
like by myself. It is very well, like not like just I beat it. I didn't 100% it. There are a
right.
lot of There are a lot of collectibles, as most Yoshi games have a ton of collectibles. Um, it can be very annoying because when Mario falls off your back, he just cries the whole time. He's like, wah, wah,
Do you have to go back
wah.
and get him?
You have 10 seconds, or you start losing life.
Oh, I see.
So the plot of this game is that Mario and Baby Mario and Baby Luigi are taken from like their parents,
Uh huh.
and Baby Mario like falls out. It's by Kamek and Baby Bowser, like Bowser, but like Baby Bowser, not
Not
Bowser
Bowser
Jr.,
Jr.
but Baby Bowser. Kamek seals Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and on their way back to Baby Bowser, Baby Mario falls out and he lands in this village of Yoshis. And for some reason, they know, like, oh, we need to transport him and go get his brother. So you're trying
Huh.
to save Baby Luigi the whole time.
And so part of the game is that like returning them back home, right? That's like the
Not
or
really, no. It's just trying to go save Baby Luigi with the
okay,
Yoshi. Um,
so they can be raised by dinosaurs on Yoshi's
yes.
Island.
Yes, basically. The art style is really cool. This game had the Super Nintendo had like this like FX chip, and it made like the sound effects and like the visuals extremely like insane. There's a level in this game called it's like it's like fuzzy. It's called like touch and go fuzzy or something, and it is like if you touch something, the whole screen starts to like go up and down, and it gets visually crazy. It's really cool. Um,
Hmm.
but again, people get really annoyed with the Baby Mario thing. It is one of those games that you have life too. It's not like in Mario
Yeah.
Brothers where like, you get hit by an enemy and you're dead.
Right. So
It's like
how does life work?
you have like you get hit by an enemy, you lose like some like almost it's almost like Mario 64 where you have like a life bar.
Okay, okay, but
Yeah.
you'll have like a set number of hit points still, or is it
Well,
like
you have a timer. You have a timer. So
okay,
it's like if you get hit, Baby Mario falls off you, and that timer starts to count down. If it hits zero, you die.
okay, I
But
see.
when you get Baby Mario back, the timer freezes. And then
Okay, and then
throughout the
throughout the
level though,
level, it'll slowly go back up when you
no, there are
where.
collectibles that you can collect, and if you collect certain collectibles, the timer goes up. I think it is a max of I think it's 20 seconds or 30 seconds. I'm not sure.
Okay, and
Um,
does that make it the having the actual like life bar thing? Does that make it an easier game?
how do I put this? Yes and no,
Okay,
because there are very challenging aspects to this game. There are some levels. There are optional levels to this game, depending on. But there's a mainline path, and if you just play the mainline path, you're only gonna. There's no overworld. You're only
right.
gonna see the mainline levels. But if you get like certain collectibles, like say you get all of the sunflowers in the
Mhm.
game in a level, you'll get the mainline path will come, and then like below it there'll be a branching path with like a secret level. The secret levels are very difficult, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah,
um but I thought I really liked it because it was the first game. One, I have a very nostalgic memory. It was the first game I ever beat on my own. I think the final boss is really cool. You go actually up against Baby Bowser and Kamek.
that's so funny.
um
That's
it, it is very funny, and the remake on the Game Boy Advance was really cool. They remade it it was like Super Mario Advance 2, I think. Yoshi's Island, yeah, I think that was it.
mhm.
um and that was really fun. But yeah, this started off the Yoshi series. That's why I like it. So I will be objective, though. I will be objective. I think this is a B tier game.
B tier.
Yeah.
Okay. I was kind of leaning
Yeah.
more towards A tier because I do think that there's something to be said just for it being such a like we keep talking about Nintendo having like kind of weird and fun ideas. I think the idea of Mario being a baby and being transported around by Yoshi is really odd, but it does kind of sound like it works.
Trust me, it does. And this introduced so many like aspects in later Yoshi games that if you play this, you're gonna understand now. Like, oh, I understand why all these creatures are in these Yoshi games now,
Okay.
which is funny. Um,
I guess
but I would say high. I would say above Super Mario Bros. In the B tier for
okay.
right now.
Yeah, I'm fine
We can
sticking at B.
obviously, yeah,
Um
yeah.
and then if we feel the need to kind of even some stuff out later, we can.
Yeah. So just to recap, right now our rankings currently go S tier, and this is in order as well. S tier Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3. A tier Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. B tier new Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Super Mario Bros. C tier Super Mario Land 2. The 6 golden coins. And Super Mario Super Mario Bros. 2, and then Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, and the D tier Super Mario Land.
All right.
All right. I think next up, James, I'm gonna let you take this because this is I think you'll have a lot to say about this game, and that is Super Mario 64, the launch title for the N64.
I okay. Before I say what is objectively correct and needs to be said, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to count Super Mario 64 DS as a separate game, or are we just going to lump it all together?
Separate game.
Because it's so different and you play as
It is so
Yoshi?
different. They add a lot. They add a lot. They have like 4 different characters.
Okay. Yeah, it's very different.
It is very different.
In that case, I think this game sucks.
Whoa! Hot take alert. Okay.
I don't know if it would be bad enough to stick it all the way down in F tier because I do think that I think there's a lot of stuff that they do really right, like kind of figuring out how you want the different worlds to be accessible from the hub world. I think jumping in and out of the paintings is a really cool way to get there. Um, I think the way that Mario moves around and the triple jump system that they figured out was um, good, even though they didn't have at, even though they didn't really stick with it forever. But and this is a game that I probably would have put a lot higher on this list had I not replayed it when Super Mario 3D All Stars came out.
Mhm.
Because I don't know how to say this other than like it was like painful to play. Like you're it's a time before giving people. I am I know I'm aware that this is an unpopular opinion. But this was a time before giving people complete control over the camera. So trying to play this game in whatever year that was, 2022, 2023.
2020 September 2020 it came out.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
realize it had been that
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
Um, the entire time it just kind of felt like I was fighting the camera, and I played and loved Super Mario 64 DS, and how this remastered version of a game in 2020 felt so much worse to play than a DS game from 2004. If this was my personal list, which it's
This
been
is
a
our
while.
list. This is our list. This is our list.
I know this is our list, but if this was my personal list, this would probably be at the very, very bottom. Unless I don't think it's bad enough to call it F tier, but I would probably want to put it D. But I also know that this game means a lot to people. Um, and so I am open to hearing what you think about this game and putting it somewhere in the middle.
Hearing you say that Super Mario 64 DS plays better than this is so painful to me
Oh, it
because this
definitely
game
does.
Are
It
you kidding me?
definitely does.
You're using a D-pad.
Yeah,
You have to hold down a button to run.
yeah.
It's like totally against everything that Mario 64 has. The joystick was like, I mean, and this is from coming from an N64 hater, and I have the exact opposite opinion of you. I replayed it in 2020 on the 3D All Stars collection, and I liked it even more. I think this game is immaculate. I think it was so far ahead of its time. That long jump feels so good. I love just running around the world doing the long jump. I think this blows 64DS out of the water. When I got 64DS, I was so disappointed. I'm like, this game plays like garbage. Um, I hate
All
how
right.
DS feels, and I'm not trying to remember. We
Yeah.
need to focus on Mario 64. I think the world design is super cool. I love jumping in and out of the paintings. All of them are so different. I absolutely love the the big giant world where you go back and forth from being giant to being small. Um, like one you can like go down the pipe and then you're small and all the enemies are really big and then
Yes,
you can
yes,
be
yes,
giant.
yes.
I love that. I love the idea of the endless staircase. I remember finding out that you could glitch it and like do like the backwards long jump and get up there, and that's how speedrunners do it. I remember the first time I nailed that, I thought it was so cool. I'm like, whoa.
I should probably add a disclaimer in here. Somehow, I did not own this game as a kid.
How did you own an N64 and you didn't own this game?
No. I would play it over at friends' houses and stuff, and so like it was fun to go over there and play it. And I definitely owned Super Mario 64 DS, which might be why I like that version more.
Okay.
But however, the fact that I did not own this game and it really didn't play it in depth at its time, I'm pretty open. So what tier do you think this game belongs in? If
Me
I
personally,
wasn't here hating on
oh,
it.
it'd be S tier, S tier by far. It would
Okay.
be the third game in the S tier, right? Currently,
Would
third game.
do you like this
I'll
game
compromise though.
more than Super Mario World and 3?
No, I do not like it more than
Okay.
those two games. I do not like it more than Lost Levels, and I do well. My personal list, like I don't know. I will compromise with you though, and I will say we can put it
What if we
the first game in the B tier.
lump them together as what if we so you don't like Super Mario 64 DS?
And we lump them together.
What if we lump
Okay.
them together and then kind of put it somewhere in the middle?
Okay, I'm good
It'll
with
kind of
that.
even out a little bit.
All right. Want to do top of the B tier?
Yeah, that's a
Right
solid.
ahead of Yoshi's Island.
I think I could even be, it kind of depend on how crowded it gets later, but I think I could even be convinced for bottom of the A tier.
Okay, we'll
Just
put it there.
because
I'm good with that.
I know that I started out the video, like you hadn't even said hi yet, and I said that I hate when people say that games are the first of the series, so they have to be at the top of the list, whatever. But I do think that this game was revolutionary enough that that I would be okay with kind of making that argument on this game.
Okay, right now I'll put it at the bottom of the A tier. Maybe we'll move it to the B tier.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that.
Okay. One more thing before we move on. Dire Docks. Love that level, and I love the music. Oh, so
good. I do think it has really good music. I just think, especially playing it now, I think the camera's bad. I also just think they didn't like. Obviously, first time we were seeing Mario in 3D, I think they needed to spend a little more time with the art, especially when you're going to start out the game by having a floating 3D Mario head that just looks scary. Like
I spent a lot of hours messing with that head.
And I do think this also this game's also very accessible today because it's both on Nintendo Switch Online and it was part of
Yes.
that 3D All Stars, which I know is hard to find now. But also, like, yeah, let's give it a point for being pretty accessible too.
Okay. All right. All right. We're gonna move on.
All right.
Next up, we have for the GameCube, Super Mario Sunshine 2002. I'm gonna say right now, I will let you know this is my favorite Mario game of
Oh,
all time. Yeah,
really?
my favorite Mario game. I freaking love this game. Like, this was my like how some people feel about Mario 64 is how I feel about Sunshine. I think this is a perfect game.
I think this game is incredible. This
Oh,
this is
go!
this is hands down my favorite Mario game at all.
Same.
No questions asked. It might be because I just played this game endlessly as a kid because for a while it
So
was like
many
the
times.
only game that I had. But I also I play this game. I 100% this game every single year. And
Me
when
too.
it really hurt my feelings when the 3D All Stars came out and people were saying that they didn't like it.
Like, how do you
I
not
was
like this
so
game?
annoyed at the discourse around people saying that the game's not very good that I started a YouTube channel and 100% the game on camera.
It is.
Um,
It is so. I People give the blue coins a lot of flack. I think it's awesome. I think it is so creative how they put these blue coins all over the place. They're like mini challenges to get
mhm.
them. And I know my favorite world is actually Noki Bay, and I know the blue coins there are like
Oh, the worst. You can't even find a good guide for it online. Like
yeah.
you have to like, watch a video.
But with that said, being a kid, it was immensely replayable because of
Mhm.
that. Like I wanted to 100. It took me years to 100% it as a kid, and
Yeah.
I refused to look at a guide. I remember when I finally did it, I like freaked out. It took me years. I got this game the day it came out. I was 6 years old because I got my GameCube 2 weeks before that was my birthday. 2 weeks to the day it came out, I got it, and I got Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I knew Sunshine was coming out 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So I asked all my friends for my birthday party. I said, "Just give me money. Just give me money." I'm 6 years old, and I just got money, and I saved it. 2 weeks later, got Sunshine. I
Nice.
was freaking in love, and I remember going to because I was going into first grade,
Yeah.
and I remember going to first grade and being like, this game has just blown me away. I love Flood. I think it's so cool. I love all the different worlds. I know there's not as many as the other Mario
Mhm.
3D games. I love the whole idea of like going to the amusement park and then you can go to like the harbor.
Yeah.
You can go to this like almost like a not a resort, but like well you have obviously the hotel, but then you also have like the village where other people live. Like you have the two different villages, like
Uh-huh.
Bianco Hills.
Yeah.
You have the beach. I absolutely
I
love this
love
game.
the I love like the tropical setting and how even all of the different locations kind of um play a part in that setting. Like you were saying, you have the amusement park and you've got the hotel and you've got this village and then that village. Um, and
Gelato Beach. Oh, I love it.
I just, man, I think this game is so good. I'm glad that you feel the same way.
Yeah, dude. I remember the first time going to the Skybird, like for the red coins at Gelato Beach, and being like, that took me like 3 or 4 days to beat that like red coin level.
Yeah,
I would get like six or
the
seven, and then you fall. Yeah, the
sandbird.
Sandbird. Yep.
Um, I remember that game being super hard when I was a kid,
Yeah. Now
and
I'm just like, now it's
now I don't know that there's anything in this game that I would say is really hard now, except there's the lily pad level.
oh
Um,
yeah, the late paddle. Just getting there is like
getting there is pretty tough. Um,
I just glitch my way there now.
but even then, I find because I guess I had so much experience with that game, the parts of it that are really hard like that, I just find them to be. I find it to be like a nice challenge.
Do you remember? Did you might have done this when you were a kid? The first time you could get up to like Pianta Village, like
Mhm.
up on top of the. Did you ever try to get up there like without like before you're supposed to get up there?
Yeah.
Do you ever nail it?
No.
I did, and I remember the first time I nailed it, I like freaked out and I like picked up our home phone and called my friend Trevor because me and my friend Trevor were like the Nintendo nerds, and I go, dude, I got to Pianta Village without the rocket nozzle, and he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm not gonna go in, I'm just gonna wait. I'm like, you have to come over. I gotta show you. So he came over. He rode his bike over. He lived like a mile away, and then I jumped off, and then it took me like 2 hours to get back up there, and I finally nailed it.
That's
But
so
yeah,
funny.
I love this game. What's your favorite overall like world in this game?
I really like. Let me think.
See, mine's Noki Bay. I just love. I love the music, and I love the whole idea of the water being polluted, and you're trying to like, like you have to like be a dentist to a whale.
Yeah, I think Noki Bay is really cool. I really like the tunnels and stuff because the world seems really simple at first, and then there's
Hmm.
this really like in-depth tunnel system.
There's so much
Um,
lore
I think
behind Noki Bay.
I like
Gelato Beach is really good too.
Gelato Beach is a good one.
Giant Wiggler. Oh my god.
I think I might like Pinup Park the most.
That was my favorite as a kid. I thought it was so cool as a kid, but then the more I've played it over the years, with
I don't
been
know. I have
Noki.
different things that I like about each level. Actually, the hotel, the Serena Beach might be my
Yeah.
favorite.
Dude, the first time I went there and the first level with a giant stingray,
Yeah,
that took me so long to beat.
dude,
Like
I remember
as
it
a
being
kid, I couldn't
so
beat it.
hard.
When I first beat it and the hotel showed up, I was like, "What is going on?"
Hmm.
Like I couldn't believe that. As a kid, was probably the most challenging world because you have that, you have the casino level. It's hard to figure out like what you needed to do.
I think that's the best boss battle in the game. That
Oh, definitely.
the Manta Storm.
Yeah, the Mantis Storm is so. Oh, God, I could gush about Mario Sunshine. We could be here all day talking about Mario. We should do a
No.
whole episode on Mario Sunshine.
I think that world, I think the low point of that world is anything that takes place in the casino.
It was
Um,
hard to figure out as a kid.
it was hard to figure out, and then some of the like the slot machines and stuff that you have to mess with. Um, and the I do think that there's one specifically where you have to spray all these tiles on a wall to be able to like make a picture of like a boo or something appear or like a
Yeah.
shine sprite so that you could go into like a warp pipe to get to a
Hmm.
hidden level. And the GameCube wasn't really precise enough to actually be able to like get them pretty effectively. It would seem like you were trying to spray like just this one over here in the corner, and then all of a sudden it would actually spray like all of them over here.
Yeah.
Um,
One more thing before we move on. We're
yeah.
gonna move on. James, I want you back on. I want you back on. We're gonna do a full episode on Mario Sunshine.
Oh yeah,
Like we're gonna do a full
I'm down.
spoiler breakdown.
Oh, I'm so down.
One
I
thing.
have even over on my channel, I think whenever I don't know what to do for a video, I haven't been making as many videos lately, but whenever I didn't know what to do, I would just do something related to Super Mario Sunshine. I think I
All
have
right.
ones that are like I think I ranked like my favorite bosses, my favorite worlds, my favorite like
We're gonna
everything.
do a.
We
We're
can
gonna
do it
do a
all.
whole Mario Sunshine episode. So don't
Yeah.
worry.
Oh, we should.
One thing I do want to mention before we move on is how awesome. I know people give it a lot of flack. The floodless subworld, the floodless worlds, when
Hmm.
Blue Mario or Bowser Jr. steals your
Yeah.
flood. The first time that happened, I freaked out. Like I
Yeah.
had no idea what was going on.
Getting so caught off guard because you don't have
Yeah,
flood with you, like because everything that
waves,
you've been taught so
waves.
far has been to rely on flood. And then I also really
Yeah,
like when you go back to those levels and then you get
and
to
you
do the
had
red.
flood.
You have
Yep.
flood, and then you get to do the red coin challenges in there too.
Hmm.
I think it's a nice way of kind of getting to reuse the same area and making it like another challenge. Because I think, I mean, I know we keep saying that we're going to move on. I do think that they did a really good job in this game of reusing areas and kind of reusing objectives and reusing different bosses, because some of the mini bosses, the not Wiggler, what's the one, Gooper Blooper, I think you
Super
fight
Looper, they used
Gooper
them
Blooper
twice.
like
Yeah,
four, I think
yeah.
even more.
Oh, three times. Twice at Rico Harbor, and then once at Noki Bay.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And they're reusing objectives and stuff. The red coin, I think there's like 25 shines that come from like collecting red coins or
Hmm.
something. And
There's two in
um
Bianco Hills. There's one in the village, and then there's one jumping along like the bungee ropes, basically.
yeah,
This overall immaculate game. Cannot wait to do our episode on it.
yeah,
All right, but
let's keep
before
going.
we,
Let's
yeah, let's keep going. All right, so that's number one for our list right now. We'll see if we can top that. All right, so next up we have 4-year hiatus, new Super Mario Bros. For the DS. James, want to take this one away?
I think this game is pretty good. Um, it's been a very, very long time. So I mentioned Super Mario 64 DS earlier. As a kid, I had this game and my friend had Super Mario 64 DS, and then we traded.
Ooh, the infamous
Um,
trade as a
yeah.
kid.
And I still have Super Mario 64 DS.
Okay.
Um, I remember really liking this game as a kid and playing it a bunch, but I don't remember a ton about like the actual levels and what makes it
Very
different
generic.
from some
Very
of the
generic
other
levels.
like
Yes.
2D Mario games. I remember kind of feeling like it was just a remake of Mario 1, but with a more
Thank
updated
you.
style. What I
Thank
really
you.
did like about this game, though, was the mini games. There was this Luigi Casino mini game
Oh, the
that
first time I ever played blackjack.
that was
Got addicted.
awesome. And so for that alone, I do think I could speak pretty highly of it. I'm not but if you sat me down, I guess I'm literally sitting down, but if I had to tell you the difference between New Super Mario Bros. DS and New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is also on DS, and New Super Mario Bros. Wii, like I don't really know that I could tell you the difference between all these different games.
So I can't tell you the difference.
Okay.
I think New Super Mario. I'm a very strong defendant of the New Super Mario Bros. Series, but I think of the New Super Mario Bros. Games, I think this is the weakest one.
Okay.
Mainly because I very much agree with you. I think this is almost like a not a 1-to-1, but this is a very much a remake of like the original Super Mario Bros. Obviously, they include some new level design, like there's some snow levels and some ice and all of
Yeah.
that. But I think that the game is actually very short. People don't realize how short it is.
Really?
Each individual level is very short. The warps are really generous, like really, really generous, like the cannons, because they're all cannon warps.
Mm-hmm.
They're very easy to get, unlike later New Super Mario Bros. New
Right.
Super Mario Bros. Games where you have to do like intricate things. I thought it was pretty cool how this is like the first 2D game where we get like the modern interpretation of Dry Bones, where you step on him and you like fall, like that modern interpretation where he falls and he doesn't come back to life, and he comes back to life.
Okay. Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, it was really cool for the time. This is the first 2D Mario game we'd gotten since basically Super
yeah.
Mario
Wow.
World, essentially. Yeah, I like it. It is my least favorite of the new Super Mario Brothers games. One thing I will say though, it did get my dad. My dad was he quit Nintendo after SNES. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm never gonna play Nintendo because he hated the Bowser Claw for the N64 controller.
Yeah.
This got him to buy his own DS though because
Oh
he saw
wow.
me play it and he's like, wow, I need this. So
That's
he still likes 2D
interesting.
Mario. He still likes 2D Mario.
I
So I would put this at the I know this sounds like we've been like ragging on it, but I would put it ahead of the original Super Mario Bros. But behind Yoshi's Island. So I would put it in the middle of the B tier right now.
okay. I think so. I don't think it's bad. Like I don't know, at least from what I remember, I don't really remember there being a whole bunch that it did wrong, if anything.
It did a lot.
I,
It's very good.
I remember not really feeling like it did very much to stand out. It's like if I've already played other than seeing Mario at a little bit more like better quality, is there really a reason to play this if I had already played Mario 1?
Mm.
Or
And like at the time, like I remember, like at the time, it was like so cool because we hadn't gotten one in a long time.
right.
But I understand, and we didn't really have access to be able to play all the other ones like very easily, unlike
Mhm.
today.
It's
Go on.
I kind of feel like so this was a DS game. I kind of feel like when they are doing a lot of their DS stuff, it seems like it's kind of like experimental. Like, hey, let's throw this out there and kind of see how it does, and then they'll usually follow it up with a like
Better
a
version,
full console version. Which
they did.
yeah. Um,
Um,
does this
also
game
one.
does it have
Mhm.
different like power ups and stuff? As
Yeah, they introduced like this is the only different power up this game has. Well, they had the mini
oh,
mushroom in this game and the giant
Mega
mega mushroom.
Mushroom.
That was a big selling point.
I do remember
Um,
that actually. I remember that
that
from the trailer where it looks
yeah,
just like Super Mario Bros. 1, that very
and
first
then he
level.
gets really big. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
think
that
B
was the
tier is
big
a
selling
okay
point.
place.
Yeah, I would say the middle of the B tier. So like ahead of
Yeah,
the original Super Mario Bros, but not ahead of Yoshi's Island.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Fun
All right.
fact.
I just think that the levels are not as memorable as some of the other ones.
This is the first game that we've talked about that is not available on Switch.
Yes, that is true, and we will be getting
Um,
to more of those.
yes, there's a stretch.
I think we're
um,
gonna see some of these on Switch eventually.
yeah, but I'm okay putting that in the middle of the B tier.
Okay. So next up, we have our first Wii game that is Super Mario Galaxy. Um, I'll start this one off. I really, really like Galaxy. Like I like it a lot. Um, on my 3D ranks though of Mario games, Galaxy is the second to last. Um,
Really?
I still really like it. Um, I don't like how you they. I don't like the pointer and like having to collect star bits with the pointer. I
Yeah.
really don't like that. At the remake, I really like. I know you can play it with the Pro controller on the in the 3D collection,
Yeah.
but it still feels like floaty, and you still have to have like the point. You still have to use the pointer.
Hmm.
Um, I don't like how it is. It's almost like it's a 3D Mario game, but it feels closer to like I don't know how do I say this. It feels closer to like it took segments of like a 2D Mario game and made them 3D almost to me.
Okay.
I don't like
It's funny
the
that you
idea
say
of
that because that's how I feel about a different game that we're going to talk about later.
that's which I really like that game. It's funny. Um, I don't like the life bar in this game. How it's like the 3 and then you can get it up to the 6. I really don't like that. I think some of the power ups are really cool. Like I love. I think the galaxy design is pretty cool as well. I like the introduction of Rosalina. I think the game is very easy, but it had that Wii feel and like shaking the Wiimote. That's what I really don't like about it.
I do think it's very easy that
Yes.
it felt like they were trying to take Super Mario Sunshine and make it a lot easier, which I remember really liking it as a kid. And I do think it's worth pointing out that this game is available on Switch in the 3D All
Yep.
Stars
Give us
collection.
Galaxy 2. Give us Galaxy 2.
Um, and I did like it as a kid. I think the idea of Mario flying around in space and um being on a spacecraft and flying, like, I find it all to be a
It
little
is
bit
cool. It is cool. Yeah.
strange, but also cool. But and I do really think that the how each little like micro planet would have its own like gravitational field and stuff. I thought that kind
Mhm.
of stuff was really cool as well. I have a question for you. If they were to bring this game to Nintendo Switch 2 and put the um pointer controls on and have you do like the mouse controls or something for it, do you think that would be better or worse for you?
I think it'd be better. I think it'd be a little bit better. I think the mouse
Okay.
controls are freaking awesome
I
right
think they're
now.
really cool. Did you
Actually,
play? We're getting a little off topic. Did you play any of Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour?
I did not actually. I've not
Okay.
played it, and I don't plan on it.
Okay. I played it. I think it was really interesting. It was actually really informative. Um, and a lot of really cool information in there that I could see Switch 2 Welcome Tour being like kids, some kids today that somehow end up playing it and see it and want to buy it or something. I could see there being people who are like, yeah, um, Switch 2 Welcome Tour like taught me how like frame rates work and taught me about all these different like components and like the difference between like a GPU and a CPU and like all this
Mhm.
stuff. It
Man,
actually
shout
goes
out to
like
Nintendo.
really in depth. It's hard to recommend to people though. Anyway, I um do think that the I think it would be better on the mouse controls. I don't really know when I would want to play it like that though.
I do need to go back and replay this game though because I
Um
haven't replayed. I've. It's funny. Like I had this obviously as a kid as well,
yeah.
and I really liked it as a kid, but I never found myself going back to this game nearly as much as I went back to Sunshine 64 or
Mhm.
even Galaxy 2, to be honest. Um, which is funny. We'll talk about Galaxy 2 in a little bit. But for right now, I would say I'd put this at the bottom of the B tier right now. I'd put it below the original Super Mario Bros.
Bottom of the B tier.
Oh, where would you put it? Would you put it at the top of the B tier?
I'm not really sure. I like this game. it bothers me that people say that this is the best 3D Mario game.
Oh, it definitely
Because
bothers me. Everyone says this is
I
like the peak of Mario. I'm like,
I
it is
feel
not.
like I'm more open to people saying that Super Mario 64 is the best 3D Mario the game than I am to this one. However, I think Super Mario 64 is way worse than this game.
Okay.
Um,
Why don't we? Why don't we?
sorry, we're not
I'll tell
really
you
going
what.
anywhere. We're just
No, I'll tell you what. Why don't we put this B tier, but right behind Yoshi's Island? So the second place of the B tier, or would you rather have in the A tier
Can you
ahead of
remind
Mario
me? Sorry, I'm
64?
I'm I'm drawing a blank. Can you remind me what the B tier looks like? What other games are in there?
B tier right now is Yoshi's Island, New Super Mario Bros, and then the original Super Mario Brothers. A tier is Lost Levels and Mario 64. Would you like it ahead of Mario 64?
I do think it's better than Mario 64, but
Okay.
I know that you like Mario 64 a lot. So, and part of my issue with Galaxy outside of the gravitational pull on the microplanet thing, I feel like a lot of this game is just pretty forgettable. That I don't remember the individual worlds and the individual levels. I remember like the B power up. Um, but then that's about it. It doesn't seem to have the
Mm,
same like Mario charm that even Super Mario 64 and especially Super Mario Sunshine have in my eyes. I'm
okay.
good sticking it probably bottom of the B tier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bottom of the B tier it is. And you know how I said it was my second it's actually my least favorite 3D Mario game. That's what I meant to say.
least
It's my
favorite.
least
Okay,
favorite.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's my least favorite 3D. Which is funny. But all
I
right.
hmm, I think it would probably be the next one up for me after Super Mario 64.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right,
Probably.
next up we got New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This was the first 2D Mario game with multiplayer. I'll go off. I really like this game. This is my second favorite New Super Mario Brothers game. Uh,
Okay.
I have a lot of fond memories of just playing multiplayer. Like I remember the day I got this game. It was November 2009. I made my parents go to the Silver City Galleria Mall, and me and my dad knew this game was coming out, and so did my sister. And my
Yeah.
mom needed to like go clothes shopping, so we they had like it was a mall with a Best Buy in it. And, like you went in through like the Best Buy entrance. I
Okay.
remember running over and being like, "Dad, we have to get this." So we got it, and then that night we all played like 4 player with my mom, and it was super fun, super
Uh-huh.
chaotic. Me, and then my mom. That was like the only time she ever played it. But then me, my
Yeah.
sister, and my dad, like us, 3 player mode, 100% of this game.
Dang.
Yeah, we and it was so much fun. I think this is a huge step up over New Super Mario Bros.
Okay.
I think the level design's a lot cooler. It's much more challenging. It's not just like the diversity of the levels are much different than New Super Mario Bros. Um, I thought it was really cool to play a 2D Mario on like a big screen like that too. I thought it looked gorgeous for the Wii. This introduced the propeller power up too, which I
Yes,
really like that
that's an
propeller power
awesome
up.
power up.
Yes. So yeah,
This one, I
go ahead.
remember the
Mhm.
propeller and the penguin being really big in it. Did this
Dude,
one
the
had the
penguin
penguin,
was
right?
freaking awesome. Penguin is freaking
But
awesome.
this was not when the penguin debuted, right?
Yeah, no, this was when the
This
penguin
was the
debuted.
debut of the penguin. Okay, I
Yep,
was thinking it might have been
debut of the
earlier.
penguin. Mm-mm. Um, which is funny because you look like the penguin from Mario 64, which is hilarious. I really like this game a lot. I think I would put it at the bottom of the A tier. That would be me. I think it would be behind Mario 64. But I'd be open to putting it ahead of Mario 64 if you're ahead of it, or if you want
I
to put
would
it any
I think
lower.
I would want it ahead of Mario 64.
I'm good with that because this game I really enjoy. I think I have a lot of fond memories with it. I thought it was so cool how you had the multiplayer in there, like I said, and um they had like almost like not sub worlds, but like interstitial worlds where like
Mhm.
between World 4 and World 5, like you'd have like an airship level akin to Mario 3, which was super cool. And it had like the classic music. It had that
Yeah.
airship music, which was super cool. And um, it just made. I think it took everything New Super Mario Bros. Did, and just made it better.
All right.
And the
Um
multiplayer is chaotic.
yeah. I remember this game. Let's see. These ones, so Super Mario DS, or New Super Mario Bros. DS, New Super Mario Bros. Wii,
Was
and
Wii, and then
Super
New
Mario
Super Mario
Bros.
Bros. 2
2, and New
and
Super Mario
U.
Bros. U all kind of get lumped
Oh,
together in my mind.
we're gonna talk about when we get to U.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was wondering what does make this game so different than New Super Mario Bros. U?
Oh,
Because
well, when we get to U, I'll tell you why. Spoiler alert. I think U is my third favorite Mario game of all time.
really interesting. Okay,
Yes,
so you would say it's probably like a half step in the right direction between DS and U,
half step between I think
or would it be
it will make
closer to
more sense
DS?
it will make more sense when we talk about it later.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I do also remember that. So the Wii was such a multiplayer centric. Like this is what the whole family can do, and I remember that this was one of like, other than like Super Smash Bros. And stuff. When I think about the Wii, I think about getting three of your friends together and playing this game, and I really liked that you could play it with just like a sideways Wii remote.
hmm
Because the controls were simple enough that you didn't need like all these extra buttons and stuff.
I know I flanked Galaxy for like the motion, but I love jumping and like shaking the Wiimote and doing the spin.
Right.
Love
And
that.
for some reason, I think I kind of actually feel the same way. I forgot about that, but I liked that if you were jumping towards something and you realize that you're not going to quite make it, you could like
Go in the
shake
little
the Wii
bubble.
remote, or you could bubble.
Hit the
I f-
one button.
And then when everybody accidentally bubbles at the same time.
Game over.
But I think this game
All
is
right.
very good.
So I think I'm good with the middle of the A tier right now. Ahead
I
of
think that's
Mario
solid.
64. Ahead of Mario 64, but behind Lost
Yeah,
Levels.
because I do think that this is when Nintendo really tried to, which I know that they had multiplayer games before this with your Mario Party and all that stuff, but I feel like this was when, and also obviously also like Mario Kart and stuff, but I feel like this is during the era where they really tried to solidify themselves as like a really family console, because this,
Mhm.
oh, I know it was on our list earlier. What year did this game come out?
2009.
Okay, so that would have been what, a year or two after.
Galaxy. It's 2 years after Galaxy.
But where does that line up compared to Mario Kart Wii?
Mario Kart Wii was 08. August 08.
Okay,
April 08. So I'm very good with dates.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Um,
It was about a year.
yeah.
It was about a
So
year and a half after because this was November 2009.
okay, but I feel like that's a really interesting time for Nintendo because they really solidified themselves as really like a family and multiplayer console. It kind of not so much online multiplayer, but like local
Like
multiplayer,
couch co-op.
couch co-op and
Yeah.
stuff. And I think a lot of that same energy they still have like today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good sticking that in. What do we say?
A tier.
A.
Yeah. All right. All right. Next up, we have Mario Galaxy 2. Now, I will say this is my second to least favorite Mario 3D Mario game, but I think it is a lot
Second to
better than
least
Mario
favorite.
Galaxy. I think it's better than a lot better than Mario
Okay,
Galaxy.
so this one, I'm not very familiar with this game. I have it and I played it. It's right. It's right over there. Um, but it's stranded on Wii, so I'm not going out of my way to like connect my Wii U and play this game. But people talk about it like it's just leagues. They talk about Galaxy like it's the greatest game to ever exist, but then they talk about this game and say that it's a lot better. And I don't really get how both of those could be true. But I don't know that I could tell you if I didn't replay Galaxy when it came out on Switch a couple years ago. I don't know that I could tell you what belonged in Galaxy and what was from Galaxy 2.
So I think I'll tell you why
I remember the
I think
Luigi levels
Galaxy
though.
the Luigi levels are awesome. I think this is why I think Galaxy 2 is better. One, it
Okay.
introduces Yoshi. They bring you back Yoshi. I remember that E3 trailer. People
Oh, I
freaked out
do
when they
remember
showed
that
Yoshi.
actually. Yeah.
Yep. And introduce more power ups. Like there's a hot tamale power up with Yoshi, and you like run super fast. You can get it as
What?
Mario as well. Yeah, you run like super fast. You can go like up walls and like you can go like a 360 on a wall. That was really
Okay.
cool. I think the variety of levels, like the areas, were much more diverse. Like each level in each galaxy felt like more distinct.
And I'm pretty sure this is the one where the spaceship was shaped like Mario's head. Is that right?
Yes, spaceship was facing like Mario's head, and like you have like it was much more akin to like you had like almost like a world map where like the Mario head would like travel with you.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. You had that super replayability with a Luigi aspect of it. Um, I thought the boss. This game is a lot more difficult than Mario Galaxy. I think they were kind of like Mario Galaxy was a little too easy, so let's make this game a little bit more challenging.
Okay.
Also, we have to give it. This is like the first official 3D Mario sequel as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I think the only 3D Mario sequel, right?
Correct. Correct. Well, depends how you consider 3D World and 3D Land.
Yes.
Yeah, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I think this is a great game. I think it definitely belongs. I think it belongs at the front of the B tier. I think it's better than Super Mario World 2.
Front of the B tier. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid place. I do want to replay this game. You said this is a lot better than Galaxy.
I think it's a lot better than
Do
Galaxy,
you
yeah.
think I should connect a Wii U to play this game like now?
Yeah, I think
when
it's
I
worth
already
I
have
think
like
it's worth
1,000
it.
other games I want to play.
I think it's worth it, yeah.
Okay. And not
Maybe not
just
like maybe not like I wouldn't hold on. I wouldn't hold
don't
on.
hold out for it
Maybe
to come into
yeah.
Switch.
Yeah. We'll see. I would love for it to, but I think it takes everything Galaxy does it better, and I think it has more of that Mario Sunshine charm that we and you just like fawned
Yeah.
over.
Oh,
There are some levels that are very reminiscent of Mario Sunshine.
one thing that we didn't talk about with Galaxy was that I was never
Hmm.
a big fan of shaking the Wii remote to just do
Oh,
like a spin attack.
hated that. Hated that.
It seemed kind of lazy to me.
Yep.
That it's like I don't think I know that Mario could punch and stuff in other games too, but I don't think Mario needs to be able to have like attacks. That like
Yeah.
I've always just been a big fan of like just like spray, I don't know,
Running and
spray with
jumping.
water, jump on its head, do this, use your environment. So where just being able to just walk up to something and just hit a button or shake your remote, um, just seemed kind of boring to me.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Yeah.
And
Which
also
is again. Mhm.
because the nature of it, I have the same problem with Twilight Princess on Wii, which
Uh.
is that they're making you shake the remote, but it's not actually doing anything with the motion. It's just treating it as like you're pressing a button. So they could have just mapped that to a button press. Because no matter how, at least for Twilight
Yeah.
Princess on
I
Wii,
would.
no matter how you swing your arm, he's gonna swing his arm in the exact same motion every single time. And
Yeah.
they changed that when Skyward Sword. That game,
The Wii
we don't
motion
need to get
plus.
into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Now that you say that, you know what? I'm gonna put it down one. I'm gonna put it behind Yoshi's Island, so
Okay.
it'll be the second game in our B tier.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So moving on, we have Super Mario 3D Land, our first entry on the 3DS. What is your history with this game?
So I have not played this game.
Okay.
Um,
So this is funny.
I can explain why though, but go ahead.
I was gonna say this is the game I played for the first time, the most recent on this list. I
Okay.
had never played. I didn't get it original. I didn't get play this game till like 2021 after I played 3D World, and I was extremely let down by it. Mainly probably because I played 3D World first.
Hmm.
I think the 3D aspects are really cool in this game, like having to like put the 3DS in 3D and like seeing cool things.
Yeah.
It brings back the Tanuki suit. It does
Okay.
do that. But I think the as like a launch 3DS game, it's really cool. But I think you definitely see like Nintendo still trying to figure out like what should we do with the 3DS here?
Right.
Like
Kind of using it
how do
as
we
a well, kind of like we talked about earlier, kind of using it as like a test bed of do we want to make a real game out of this? And
yes.
well, this was kind of in a period too where Nintendo was releasing games because the Wii U was doing so terribly that they would release games on both Wii U and 3DS. And so part of the reason that I never played this game was because I was under the impression that it was the same thing. because the
Oh,
same
it's
thing,
very
like
different.
it wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily make sense to have Smash Bros both on 3DS and on Wii U. And I was kind of thinking like, oh, it's the same, it's the same game, just like, but like in a different form. So part of it is that at that time, which I wasn't playing a ton of video games at that time, and I wasn't really as informed as I could have been, but I think part of it just plays into the 3DS and Wii U's poor marketing on Nintendo side.
Mm,
But
yeah.
you said you like this game.
I like it, but I'm not like head over heels for it.
Okay.
Like if they, the only way I'd ever replay it is if they brought it to Switch
Okay.
2. That's the
You
only
wouldn't
way.
you
I'd
wouldn't
never. I wouldn't. I still play my 3DS, but I wouldn't go and be
Yeah.
like, I want to play this. I want to. I think the level design's cool, but it definitely shows like early 3DS. The graphics were not like I'm not a graphics
Is
guy, but
the
like it looks like a DS game. The graphics,
is the
graphics wise.
structure of the game similar to 3D World?
Yes, but like on a smaller scale, smaller scope. The
Okay.
worlds are not as expansive. They're not as like the variety is not like in 3D World, you have like a lot of different levels, like a
Right.
lot of different aspects. Like you have the whole diorama aspect where you're running around an
Yeah.
overworld and it's like mini dioramas. It's not like that in this game.
Okay.
So I
So are
would
you
put
thinking
this
kind
at
of
the
low?
I'm thinking top of the C tier.
Okay.
So above the Mario Bros 2, um, but not quite B tier.
I think that's
That's how
solid.
I would put it.
I
Yeah.
think I don't and what was the did you ever you said you played this recently, so you probably didn't try to do any of the like multiplayer features or anything like that, trying to play with anybody
Mm-mm.
else.
No,
Do
you
you
couldn't. I
do you
don't. This game
know?
wasn't multiplayer.
Okay, there was no
No.
like DS download play or anything like that.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine sticking it down there then,
Okay.
because
All
I
right.
do
Moving
think
on. Oh
the
no.
never mind. We'll talk about that later with the other one.
Okay. Moving on to our next, we have another New Super Mario Bros. Game, New Super Mario Bros. 2. This is the gold coins one. You have to collect all the gold coins. I'll say this about this game: it's better than New Super Mario Bros. Not as good as New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and this game is incredibly easy. Only in the fact that they give you so many gold coins that you basically always have like 99 lives, like always.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the whole
What
aspect of the game is collecting coins.
and this? Oh,
Yeah.
I've actually never played this one. Be I know that it's I wasn't really in let's see 2012.
2012, yeah,
When did the 3DS come out?
2011.
Okay, so this would have been on 3DS.
This is on 3DS, yeah.
I got a 3DS late.
Okay.
I didn't get a
Um,
3DS until 2015.
okay.
And then
I got a 3DS at launch.
this is a game that nobody ever talks about, so I think part of why I missed it was because I mean, people aren't talking about it, so it's not one of the games that they're telling me I should go back and play. It was
Yeah.
no I'm drawing a blank. It was no Link Between Worlds or anything.
No. This is like I said. I think it's better than New Super Mario Bros. And the
Right.
fact that I think the levels are more expansive. They're more unique and they're more unique. They're more diverse. I think it plays a little bit better than New Super Mario Bros. One,
Mhm.
but I think it plays very similar to New Super Mario Bros. Wii. There's really no use of the 3D in this, so if you're like kind of like knocking on
Okay.
that, it's like a 3DS game. You don't really have to use the 3D.
Right.
The only reason why it is a little bit easier is because you always basically have 99 lives because there's so many freaking coins. This is the game that introduced like the coin, like like the coin block that goes on Mario's head.
Yeah.
And you can like jump and get unlimited coins. It's all about that. The one thing I will give this though is like the end game. Like how there's always like the world after World 8.
Yeah.
Like the Star World, the levels are incredibly difficult.
Really?
It's super fun to it's really fun to go through them, and you can like they don't really have a lot of coins. This is like levels with no coins in them,
Okay.
which is like completely different.
That's crazy.
But
then
it
you have
didn't
to
introduce any.
Is it one of them where in order to get to that bonus world you have to 100% the rest of the worlds?
No, you just
Okay.
have to get a certain amount of like the 3 giant gold coins.
Yeah.
You have to get a certain amount of them. I'm not sure how many
Okay.
you have to get
Because
I
it's
can't
annoying
remember.
too. I would get a little bit annoyed when it's like it locks these really cool levels behind like stuff that like people aren't gonna do.
Yeah, I will say the end game is pretty cool. It's a little bit more unique than New Super Mario Bros. One, but I definitely don't think it is like a New Super Mario Bros. Wii. So
Okay.
I would put it right smack dab in the middle of the B tier, so ahead of New Super Mario Bros. One, but behind Super Mario Galaxy
Okay. I think
Two,
our B tier
behind
might be
behind
getting a
Mario
little
Galaxy Two.
crowded.
It's all right. It's all right. Hey, B tier is okay.
I'm thinking
I don't
our.
think.
Do we have anything in D or F?
Yeah, we have Super Mario Land One in the D tier.
Okay. And
All right.
I think
All right.
this might be the last one that I actually have not played.
Okay. All right, moving on. Next up, we have one of my favorite games, New Super Mario Bros. U. Now, I will say this: this game got a lot of flack because it came out the same year as New Super Mario Bros. 2. It was the fourth New Super Mario Bros. Game, but this is definitively the best New Super Mario Bros. Game. I would argue if this came out as the first New Super Mario Bros. Game, we would be talking about it as an S tier game.
This one, I think they should have not called it New Super Mario Bros.
They should just call it like Super Mario Bros. U.
I think they should have come up with a better name for it because I think it had that new Super Mario Bros. Kind of stink on it.
Yep.
Which those games are not all bad, but this game I think is very different. At least from what I remember, it's super different from
The other
what's
New
it
Super
called?
Mario
Yeah.
Bros. Games. It's very, very different. I'll sum it up like this. I think the world map is immaculate in this game,
Okay.
especially compared to the other New Super Mario Bros. Games. It is so much bigger. There's so much more variety. It is gorgeous. Each pathway, even like the secret pathways, is so satisfying to see unravel because the way that the world design, the way the world map, like it expands. Like Kamek runs around, he like
Mm-hmm.
has his like little magic wand going. That is super cool. The worlds feel like very seamless, and it makes like the Mushroom Kingdom actually feel like an actual kingdom. Like they're all like connected.
Yeah.
The level design's awesome. It's very, very good. The game's a little bit more cinematic too. Like there's like surprise reveals, like in the middle of a level in like the Soda Kingdom. There's like mid level, like you can see Bowser's airship, and like the game like freezes. It's not a cutscene, but like something happens, which is like a
Yeah.
reveal and a
The
surprise. Soda Kingdom.
soda jungle.
Yeah, Soda
That's
Jungle.
the
Did I say Soda
purple with
Kingdom?
all the purple like
Yes.
acid stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this game is a lot more difficult than any of the other New Super Mario Bros.
I think
Games,
so
which
too.
I like.
Which I think makes
I
it
like
better.
about it. It's not like super difficult. It's not lost
Right.
levels here, but it is a
It's
lot more
no new
difficult than
Super
those.
Luigi U.
Oh, we'll get to that. I freaking love that game too.
I think this is the best of the new Super Mario Bros. Style. I think this is
Yep.
easily the best of any of them that we've talked about.
Yeah, and for me, obviously, it would be S tier, but I don't think you want to put it in the S tier. So I would be good with putting it at the top of the A tier right now, so ahead of
I'm
boss
good
levels.
with the only thing probably keeping it out of the S tier for me. Um, I'm good with top of the A tier. And I think that's because I think this is one of the games that I was talking about that they made it very like slippery. But not slippery in that
It
you
is very
can't
slippery.
stop,
Yeah,
but it's slippery in that like you take
yeah,
forever to start moving. That
yes.
you can't just like I don't know what it is. It's like their acceleration. It's like they're in like an old like Looney Tunes cartoon where like they got to spin their legs for a little bit
Yep.
before they like start running.
They can start going. Yes.
And it can get
Um,
really frustrating in some of your later levels. And the only reason I really noticed that was because I was doing doing a let's play of this game at the same time as playing a game that we're going to talk about later, and it was really noticeably different. And it's like I didn't realize that this was so noticeably different, and I ended up just kind of preferring the other style where your button presses seem to have a little bit more like significance to them.
mhm.
But
No, that
I'm
makes
good.
sense.
I also think that anything that we've already said about the multiplayer couch co-op aspect of the other new Super Mario Bros. Games still holds true here, and I think that this was one where you could have 5 people play, right?
You could have someone play as Nabbit,
and
yes.
somebody would play as Nabbit, and I think they could have the Wii U gamepad and put like
Gamepad, and
if you
you would
couldn't
put
get up
like
to a certain
blocks.
area, they could put
Yep.
blocks in there
Yeah.
too. And I think that kind
We
of
call
stuff is
that
really
cheating.
cool.
We call that cheating in this
Yeah,
house.
which I a lot of these games, like I didn't play them with other people, but I think it's cool when they kind of throw that stuff in there.
Okay.
Because
All
at
right,
this
so then
point,
next up,
when did that come out?
2012 was a launch game for Wii U.
Yeah, at that point, I was the only one of my siblings that played video games anymore. I had probably been the only one playing video games in my house for like 10 years at that point. maybe like 5 years.
All right. So next up, we have the DLC for this game, New Super Luigi U, which was eventually released as a standalone. This is for the Year of the Luigi. This is little DLC concept that came out a couple months after the game came out. Basically everything I said about New Super Mario Bros. U applies to this game, except the world map is like a carbon copy, but all the levels are different.
Yes.
They're shorter. They're much more challenging. This game is so difficult to 100%.
You only have 100 seconds for each level.
It's actually not 100 seconds. It's 100 game frames, which is less than a second each.
Okay,
each
right.
Yeah.
The timer starts at 100, but it's not quite 100 seconds.
Yeah. I think it's really cool, the idea of like I love Luigi. He's my second favorite Mario character, so I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But again, the levels are really difficult. But this has like we never mentioned like the Van Gogh design levels. Like it looks like the Van Gogh paintings. The New Super Luigi U had like a lot of levels like that. I thought it was super cool. Like we don't really have to say much more about this, just because it's New Super Mario Bros. U, but like a little bit more difficult.
I think so too. I think this game's very good. Which I think this was when I didn't buy a Wii U right when it came out. I got my Wii U a little bit later.
I was one of the three.
when I got this game, I got the new Super Mario Bros. U one that came bundled with it, so I bought it all at once. And replaying it when it came out a couple years ago on Switch, I think, what was that, 2023? 2024?
Around 2023, I think. Early 2023.
I had such a great time with it. I think that when you're playing as Luigi, it's a lot less noticeable that he's like slipping around and stuff all the time, because I think that's just kind of how Luigi's supposed to be. That's his character.
He's a weird guy.
So that bothers me less as Luigi than it did as Mario. I also think if you get good at your jumps, he can jump forever.
Yes.
And I remember what you were talking about, that you do have to get all of the big coins to be able to unlock the secret world at the end, I think. And then that secret world
you do, yeah.
It's like insane.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
But it's so you like this game more than Super Mario Bros. U?
No, I put it right behind it. So I would put it second in the A tier right now.
I'm okay with that.
Right behind it. Yeah.
I don't think I don't think New Super Luigi U would be fun to play with another person.
Oh, I play it with other people.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's when games get more difficult, I feel like I want to everybody just leave me alone and just let me do this by myself.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's move on to Super Mario 3D World. I'm just going to start it off. I think this is an S tier game. I think this game's phenomenal. I think the whole idea of like the dioramas are so cool. And introduce Captain Toad. I love the semi-open world. It's like a combination of 3D and 2D. I love the different designs. I love the secret world at the end. Is so cool. There's so much replayability because you can go through it getting like the green stars. You have to finish at the top of the flagpole. You have to do it with all the different characters. It's the akin, they bring it back to Super Mario Bros. 2 with like the 4 different characters.
Right.
I had so much fun playing this multiplayer. I played this game a lot. I 100%ed it multiplayer, 100%ed it by myself, 100%ed it on Switch, 100%ed it Switch multiplayer. It's one of my favorite Mario games. So I've spoken very highly of this game on this podcast. Like I think it is one of the perfect Mario games. They introduced Cat Mario too, which I'm not a cat guy, but for some reason I love the whole idea of the Cat Mario and climbing it. Some of the levels are really cool, really interesting designs. If you have not played this game, like you need to, and you go in like not knowing a lot because some of the levels are super cool. I actually just replayed this in April. It was a blast. I would put this, me personally, I would put this as an A tier, like the bottom of the top bottom of the S tier right now, behind Mario 3, behind Mario World, and behind Sunshine. That's where I would put it. But what about
Wow.
yourself?
Well, I played the this was one of the first games that I played on Wii U.
Okay.
I
Yep.
the
2013. Yeah.
version of the Wii U that I got was the black Wii U that was the Super Mario 3D World bundle.
Mm-hmm.
And I have really fond memories of playing this guy. I played through the entire game with two of my friends,
Let's
and
go.
I really like. I really liked the multiplayer component of it, which they would, if you got the most points, they would give you a
You get the little
crown.
crown.
And so we were
Yep.
constantly, I think we played this entire game over the course of like a weekend.
Yeah, that's what I did when I first got it. Me and my sister.
And so it was me and two of my friends, and we were constantly fighting over the crown and trying to. I think this was one of them where when you hit a power up block, like the way the power ups would come out, they would kind of make you like fight over them. But I can't remember if
They would tier it. They would tier it. So for example, if you were playing multiplayer and you hit a power up, and like if you were big, it would give you like for example the boomerang power up, but it would also shoot out a mushroom.
right.
So like if your friend was mini, you'd be like, you're getting a mushroom. But then they'd go for like the boomerang, and then you'd be like, I'm already big.
Right. So I think I really loved playing this game with my friends, but replaying this game when it came to Switch,
Don't break my
I
heart. Don't break my
do
heart.
not like it as much.
No.
I didn't find it to be very fun to play solo.
It's because you didn't play with me.
Probably. Maybe we should. Yeah, we can fix this. We can amend our list here when we play it together. But I've always just loved 3D Mario games more than just your straight up 2D Mario games. And
you wanted a full 3D Mario game, and you got like
this is very much
a halfway in between.
A 2D Mario game, just kind of like
on a 3D plane.
Yeah, a lot of the levels are you just walking towards a flag, which doesn't bother me as much, I guess, it doesn't bother me as much in the 2D games because the challenge is in like the actual platforming, where I do just also remember this game just being really easy.
It's easy, but not as easy to 100%. And the end game is ridiculous.
Gosh, you said you wanted it an S tier?
Yeah, so I'll make a compromise with you. Do you think it's better? I'll make a compromise. Do you think it's better than Mario 64?
Yes. Yeah, much better.
Do you think it's better than New Super Mario Bros. Wii?
I think the multiplayer is better than the multiplayer in Wii.
Okay.
But I think the actual game in Wii is probably better than the actual game here.
Okay.
I do think the cat power-up was odd, but fun.
Okay.
I would be okay putting it up there. What tier was New Super Mario Bros. Wii in?
Currently, it's ahead of Mario 64 in the A tier. It's the second to last game in the A tier. Would you want to put it one spot ahead of Mario Wii or one spot behind it?
We could put it ahead.
Okay, that's fine with me. I'll put it one spot ahead. We'll keep Lost Levels in front of it.
But there was something that I thought about earlier. That on Switch, they included Bowser's Fury in there.
We're going to talk about Bowser's Fury.
Are we going to talk about that as its own thing? Because I think that is...
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Okay. All right. Next up, we have... So, I know I said all the platforming games. we're gonna omit Mario Maker 1 and 2 because if it was up to me, Mario Maker 1 and 2 would be definitively the best Mario game ever.
Okay.
I play Mario Maker 2. I used to play Mario Maker 1 every day. I play Mario Maker 2 every single day.
Wow.
It is
I never
the
played
level
Mario Maker 1, but I did play Mario Maker 2, and I thought it was really good.
some of the levels people make, if you know who to look for, the certain creators,
Right.
you can play amazing levels.
Yeah. And people
So
get super
I would
creative
just
in there. But
yeah.
it's the things people are doing in Mario Maker is it's awesome, but it's not necessarily what I want from Mario games. Like
Okay.
I think it's notably different from every other 2D every other Mario
It's
platformer.
all. It's very similar to what I said about Mario Land. It's like Nintendo said, here, go to another team. Hey, make a Mario game
Right. Except
using
the
our
team is all
IP,
of us.
and the team is much better than Mario Land crap.
Yeah.
Um.
I think
All
there's
right, so
a lot of really good Mario Maker levels, but there's also a lot of really
it's a
bad
lot of
ones too.
lot of garbage, a lot of garbage. But yeah, Mario Maker 1 and 2. We're just gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm
All
good
right,
skipping
so
over
we're
those.
gonna yeah, we're gonna move on to Mario Brothers Run, and I'm gonna say right now, this is an F tier game.
Really?
F.
Did you
Yeah,
play
I
did you play
freaking
it?
hate this game. Yeah, I hate this game.
Okay. I think for what it is, being a phone Mario game,
I hate mobile games though, so I will give it that.
I don't mind mobile games if they actually do something worth doing. I realize that that's kind of redundant, but I think that as far as simplifying a Mario game to be playable on a phone, I think that this is probably as good as it can get. I'm pushing for B tier, not B, D, D,
Whoa!
D,
D.
D.
Okay, D. Okay.
I'm pushing for D
Um.
tier.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Because I hate Super Mario Land so much, I'll put it ahead of Super Mario Land.
Okay, great.
Um.
Um, I I do think it's generally kind of short. Um, and the entire game is basically just played by pressing one button over and over again. That it's like
Mhm.
you just tap the screen to jump, and then I think if you tap and like hold it, you might do like a. I think the same way that in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, you could tap and then you could jump and then shake your remote to do like a spin attack. Or like a spin in the air. You can do that same thing in this game.
Yeah.
So it does
Yeah.
kind of diversify it a little bit, but um it's not. I mean, obviously, it's for a mobile game. I do think it's pretty good, but for a Mario game, I don't think it's very good.
I'll put it like this. With the exception of Super Mario Land 1, I would much rather play any other Mario game. That's how I'll put it.
All right.
So D tier, top of the D tier. All right, moving on to a much better
We
game.
only have 3 games
20,
left.
yep, 2017 Super Mario Odyssey. Um, this is my third favorite 3D Mario game. I prefer second favorite 3D Mario game. I prefer Sunshine over this, but I do prefer it over 64 and the Galaxy games. With that said, though, I do not think it is an S tier game. I think this is an A tier game right behind New Super Luigi U. So it would be the third game in the A tier ahead of Lost Levels. The reason why I think that is I really love the idea of all the different kingdoms. I love the different
Yeah.
costumes. I think that's super cool. It makes collecting coins like worth it. I love the variety. I love Cappy. I think that is so cool, throwing it and transforming into all these different things. I think there's way too many moons, and some
Mm-hmm.
of them are way too easy, and it makes it like because you're not required to have like that many moons to actually beat the game, you can almost avoid the really more traditional style like requirements to get certain moons that
Right.
like you might find in like a Sunshine or a 64 or a Galaxy, where you can get all the easy ones that like, oh, run to the street corner and it's sitting here.
Yeah.
And you can still beat the game. Um, I love like the darker side of the moon, and that whole last gauntlet is super cool. I love the last boss fight with Bowser, but I think the um with so many moons you can buy some of them are super
You
easy.
can
I
buy
really
the ones that you can buy in the shops, you can buy them over and over again. So you could
yep,
actually not do it would be
just
probably an
collect
interesting
coins
video to see somebody playing one of these games without
and
getting
just
any real moons and only buying them.
collecting coins. Yeah. Um, With that said, I think it's super cool when you go to like the Peach's Kingdom and you're like, whoa, this is super cool.
Oh yeah, I think
Um,
Mushroom Kingdom is really cool. I'm
I
completely in agreement with you.
Yeah, I think it's the middle, like that middle of the A tier, higher towards the front of the A tier, but not quite at the top. I think it's like I said, I think it's awesome. I think a sequel would be super cool, or another. Like I'm really hoping the next 3D Mario game does not. It airs on like we're gonna have 120 really good collectibles
Right. I
rather
think
than
that even if
999.
yeah, even if you only so the moons that are buyable, if you only buy them once, I think there's still over like 800 moons, and I just think it's way too many. That it's like you ran on the beach and jumped on this guy's head and it made a moon pop out.
Yeah,
And it's
you
like
sat on a bench. You
you
sat on a bench next to a random guy in New Donk City.
right. I think that when you're getting moons so often for these really useless tasks, they feel a lot less significant and a lot less important. Whereas in
It takes away from those really satisfying platforming challenges that some of them are there for. Because
right,
there are some really interesting and really cool moons.
yeah, are
Like
there?
when you take over the RC car in New Donk City, like that
Yes,
is super cool.
there's one. I think it's in New Donk City. There's this jump rope one.
Oh my god, that one was freaking
That
awesome. I
was
love that.
there's a couple different levels of it, but I think you're supposed to jump rope like 100 times or something. And
It's a
that was the
throwback
one that
to
broke me. That I was like, I can't do this. I'm not.
that was a throwback to the Mario Party original Mario Party game, the fire rope minigame.
Uh huh.
That was a throwback back to that. Um, Miyamoto revealed that in a developer interview he did with Famitsu that was his favorite Mario Party game, so he wanted to include a jump rope segment.
I do really like. I love the different themed worlds in this game.
Oh, they're
That
so cool! Like the Luncheon Kingdom, super cool.
I think that the themes and the worlds are way stronger, and they factor much more into the identity of the game than
Hmm.
probably any of the other 3D Mario games, which we talked earlier about in Super Mario Sunshine, how we really like that all of the worlds kind of fit in that one theme of it being like a tropical island. Um, this one, they all kind of fit into the same theme of like Mario kind of going all across the, Mario going on an odyssey.
Hmm. Yeah, no, but totally agree with you. I think if we ever got like an Odyssey 2, which I don't know what we're gonna get out of the next 3D Mario game. I really, like I said, I really hope they tone down the amount of moons or whatever the collectible
Yeah.
is, and they make those because like we had said, some of those collectibles are really good. Like some
Hmm.
of them are really challenging, but I think a lot of people didn't get to that because like, oh, I can just get the easy ones.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them that are like, oh, I jumped into this area over here which there are some actually nice parts where it's like, oh, I wonder if I can like jump into this area over here that we're clearly not supposed to be able to get to. And I ended up going on top of this tower and I dive off and then I throw my hat and jump on the hat and do a spin jump and do all this stuff. And I ended up in this area over here that like you're probably not supposed to be able to get to, but then there's a random guy there and you talk to him and he's like, wow, great job getting over here. And he gives you a
Like
moon. Like that kind of stuff, I think.
that's the peak of this game. That is like the high. This is like has like a this is almost like the N64. This is really high highs, some pretty low lows.
Yeah.
A little bit better than the N64 though. But I think we agree. Middle of the A tier.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
think
so
so.
we have 2 games left. Next up we have
Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury, which is the 2021 came out with the Super Mario 3D World. Um, I'm gonna say this is a fantastic game. Wish if it was bigger and a full traditional, like they gave us a whole game like this,
Mhm.
I think this would easily be an S tier game.
I
But
agree.
because of that, I think I would have to put it in the A tier. I would put it like right behind Odyssey. That's where I would put it. Right behind Odyssey.
Yes. I think so.
Or would you put it ahead? It's up to you.
Well, no, I think Odyssey. You said Odyssey's in the middle of the A tier.
It's currently number 3 in the A tier. There's 4 games behind it.
What are the two above it in the A tier?
Luigi U and Mario U.
I would want to put it above those.
You put Bowser's Fury above
No, sorry.
those?
I would put Bowser's Fury where Odyssey is, and then I would want
Okay.
Odyssey at the top.
On top of the A tier.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Um,
I'm good with that.
Bowser's Fury, it kind of felt like a demo. Like a, hey, look at all this cool stuff that we're able to do now. Except a demo, like, for what? For, like, where's this?
Give us more.
Like,
Yeah.
where's the game? Like, what? I do remember really liking it though. I like that I like that the structure of it is actually similar to one of the worlds in Odyssey, where pretty much any of the, I don't remember what you're collecting, like stars or moons or shines or whatever.
It's
probably
shines actually, shine sprites. Yeah.
That anything that you're collecting, you can kind of go and get them in any order, which I think is a really good direction for Mario to move, because I don't really like that in some of the other games, and especially the 3D games, where you load into a level, you have to do just that one thing. That I like the kind
It's
of
very
like,
segmented.
yes,
It's very
I like
segmented,
the kind
yeah.
of open-ended nature of it a little bit more. But I do think that part of the reason that they were able to make the entire thing so good from start to finish is because how small it is.
Yeah.
So,
Which is to its benefit, yeah.
but so I don't really think. I think putting it probably in the middle of the A tier is probably a good spot. Maybe even a little bit lower.
Maybe behind Lost Levels, but ahead of 3D World.
Yeah.
Okay. I would personally put it 3D World, but 3D World for mine would be much higher. But I'm good with putting it right in the middle of the A tier.
Yeah,
Which would
I'm
be
good with
right
that.
behind Lost Levels.
Sorry,
Which is right behind Lost Levels.
My dog is. I'm the only one here today, so my dog keeps wondering what I'm doing in here.
Okay, no biggie. Yeah, I'd put it right there, like right in the middle of that A tier. What I really like about it is like the seamless open worldness, like you said. But again, because it's so much smaller, I think it was easier. I love how like when you enter a new area, like this is like a new area with new stars.
Right.
Like the music changes. The one knock I have on it, I hate the giant Bowser fight. Like I think that's so dumb, and you do it over and over again. I really don't like the giant cat Mario versus the giant cat Bowser.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Not a
I do
fan
want
of
to
that,
replay.
yeah.
This is one that I want to. Really, a lot of games that we've talked about today that I've only played one time. Like, so Odyssey, I only played Odyssey once, and I want to go back to Odyssey and play. It was on my list of games that I wanted to replay this year, but I don't know when I'm going to get to it because it is such a huge game that I don't know when I'm going to do that. I do want to go back and play this one too, and since I know it's pretty short, I might kind of move
like 3
that.
hours. It's like
Yeah,
a completionist run, not like a speed run. It's like about 3 hours.
Yeah. So I think that's a solid place. And
Hey.
then we only have one more game.
Yes, and that game is
Super Mario Wonder.
Yes, the newest game, 2023 for the Switch. I'll let you take it away. What do you think of this?
I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't think it is, but I don't know how you feel about this game. I think that this game belongs. Ooh, do you want me to say it, or do you want me just to talk about what I think about the game first?
Say it.
Okay,
Say it.
I think this game belongs in the S tier.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
Part of it. So part of it is that a lot of the other 2D Mario games I haven't really been around, like right when they came out, but this is easily my favorite of all of the 2D games, which I don't have. I haven't played Super Mario World and Super Mario, all of them. But I think that they finally moved away from the slipperiness of Super Mario new Super Mario Bros, which I really like. And I like that they were able to make this game really fun and really weird while still being very much in the realm of acceptable things in the Mario universe.
Totally agree with you. This is Nintendo finally taking a chance with 2D Mario. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna really change. This is the first change they've done since like the original New Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Where they completely changed how it felt. They changed the art style. Mario looks different. The characters look different. You have more playable characters. I think the world design is super unique compared to any other
Mhm.
Mario game. It is so different. We have different power ups. The
Yeah.
Elephant Mario, super cool. I remember when I
Yeah.
first saw it, I was like,
Elephant
"This is
Mario is
awesome."
weird. Elephant Mario ended up being my favorite power up.
Oh, by far.
And
Um, go on,
I also thought that this was a really good challenge level compared because we've
dude.
talked about games being feeling like we've talked about Lost Levels and Super Luigi U being like pretty hard. And then we talked about other ones like Super Mario Galaxy and 3D World, I think being a little bit too easy. This one, I feel like it really hits that
Perfect balance.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah. It has that balance very similar to I think Mario 3 and Mario World, where there are some really challenging levels, but there's no like super easy levels, but there are like it's like the perfect balance.
Right.
Um I think Nintendo nailed it out of the park with this. I would love to see like a proper like Wonder sequel. I would
Yeah.
love that.
Super Mario Wonder
It's
2.
funny, a lot of people I think even though the Switch is like so successful, it's just weird. A lot of people this game did not sell as well as other 2D Mario games, which I'm like shocked. Like that new Super Mario Bros. U port has more copies sold than this.
I think that's part of it just coming out earlier though, that I don't know. I think a 2D Mario platformer where the main part of the main game is just you walking from left to right, I think is kind of a hard sell when you have all of these when there are so many games coming out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um
And I really wonder how this would have sold. I wonder how this would have sold at like 2021, 2022, rather than maybe like early 2021, even like 2019. I bet you would have sold so much better.
yeah.
But like I said, like we both said, I think this game's phenomenal. I'm gonna put it right at the bottom of the S tier. So there's only 3 games
Okay.
ahead of it: Mario 3, Mario World, and our beloved Mario Sunshine.
Of course.
Yes. All right. So we're just gonna do a quick recap of our tier list. This is our tier list. This is the perfect Mario tier list from Sean Mason and James Soler. This is the perfect tier list. We have in the S tier Mario Sunshine, Mario World, Super Mario 3, and Super Mario Wonder. The A tier Mario Odyssey, New Super Mario Bros. U, New Super Luigi U, Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, Bowser's Fury, Super Mario 3D World, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and James' favorite game, Super Mario 64.
Of course.
Um,
A plus.
B tier, we have Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario Galaxy 2, New Super Mario Bros. 2, New Super Mario Bros., the original Super Mario Bros., and Mario Galaxy.
Okay.
C tier, we have Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario Bros. 2, and Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I think there's a huge drop off between Super Mario Bros. 2 and that C tier game. You know what? Screw it. We're throwing Mario Land 2 in the D tier. Had a Mario run, though.
All right.
Yeah. Screw it.
Mario Run could get sandwiched between the two Mario
yeah.
Land.
Nice Mario Land sandwich. D tier, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, Super Mario Run, and the original Super Mario Land. All right, so that's our list. This will be shared as a graphic for it. James, I'm going to give you a copy of it as well, so you can make it your background of your computer. This is our list. But yeah, James, I really appreciate you coming on. I love talking Nintendo. I can't wait to do
Thanks
our
for having me.
Mario Sunshine episode. I'm like really excited
that one
for that.
and something Smash Bros. Related, maybe.
Oh my god, the Smash Bros. Don't even get. I love it.
Real quick.
I love it. Yep.
What? I mean, you probably love every single Smash Bros. Game as I do. If you were have to choose a Smash Bros. Game as your favorite one, do you have a favorite? Ultimate. I'm kind of in the same boat. There's things that I like about the other ones too, and which I have we can talk Smash Bros. Some other time.
Yeah. Join us later to hear our thoughts on Smash Bros. But James, I really thank you for having me. You guys, You can find him on YouTube. He makes incredible videos. I really love. Anytime he drops a new video, I'm like super into it. I love it. Um, James, where can they
Yeah.
find you on YouTube?
That's very kind of you, Sean. I don't remember what the best way to get to my YouTube channel is.
Put
We
the
can
link.
we
Link
can
will
put
be
a
in the
link
description.
down in the description of this
Link will
video.
be in the description.
I was doing a really good job of making YouTube videos for a while. I was probably cranking out like 2 or 3 videos a week. And then I made I did a video on Assassin's Creed Shadows that um I had played the first like 10 hours of the games, and it was just kind of like an impressions video, and it got so many like downvotes and it got
Because
so
of the
many
game. Because of the
comments
game.
that I was like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to do this anymore. And then since then, I think I've been posting like 1 video a month.
You got to go back to the well, that
Yeah,
Mario Sunshine well.
I gotta. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But thank you so much
But
for having me.
no problem. You're always
I guess
welcome.
in addition to YouTube, which is going to be the link down in the description or something.
Yep.
I am on, I don't really use Twitter as much anymore just because it seems like nobody actually wants to talk about anything beneficial there. However, on Twitter and on Instagram, I'm at James_Soler, Soler. And I'm also on Blue Sky. I don't really post over there as much either, but that is, I don't even remember what that one is. I think it's just James. I think it's just my name, James
You'll
Soler.
figure it out. You guys will figure it out somehow. Not many people over there on Blue Sky,
Yeah.
so we'll figure it out. But yeah, thanks for joining us. We hope you liked your tiering list. If you have any comments or want us to tier anything else, let us know.
Yeah.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.